Hey, it's AJ again, your favorite property manager here at Keyrenter Provo, Keyrenter St. George. We're excited to talk today a little bit more about leases and tenants. Oftentimes, and so this is just gonna be another episode we're gonna submit to you for the keys to Utah rentals. We get the question a lot of times, what do we do about damage that occurs in the property during the time the tenant is there? And things can happen, kids can be running around and a baseboard can be knocked off, or a corner, a drywall corner can be dented and, the plaster falls off and that sort of thing. There can be a big scrape along the wall, maybe moving something in, you got to repaint or something and patch up things. Or, if you're really hard on things, you can damage the hardware with the plumbing, fridge handles can break off. We've seen screens get ripped and torn, with balls being thrown outside. So if the damage that occurs from the tenant happens within that time frame of their 12-month lease, then what we will do is there's a process. The way we'll find out about that, we would hope that you would, as a tenant, you would report that. And the way you do that is through the portal. We'll go over all that as you become an actual tenant of Keyrenter. But you would report it on the portal. It would be what we call a maintenance ticket. So we're going to come and we're going to check it out and take care of it for you. At least it gets that that maintenance issue in the system. And then you have a couple options. You can either take care of it yourself as the tenant, submit the receipt that you took care of that issue or that problem, and then we'll come and verify that it was taken care of and take photos before and after, make sure it's documented, and it'll go in your file. That's one option. Number two option is we'll get one of our maintenance vendors to come out. We've got a great network of maintenance personnel that take care of electrical and plumbing and painting, flooring, roofing, all the things. We can get one of those folks to come out, and they usually give us wholesale prices, so it's cheaper. And then they'll take care of it. We'll coordinate all of the interaction. We'll make sure that you're home, or at least that it's going to happen when we're getting the repairs done. So that's option number two. We'll take care of it for you and then just bill that to you as well, or pull it out of a reserve that you're going to have in the system. The third way is, if you decide you don't really want to be part of any of it at all, and maybe you delay telling us until the end of your lease term, which we hope wouldn't happen, but it does sometimes, then we will just charge your deposit at the end of that lease term and make sure it's taken care of before the next tenant moves in. And at that point, it can be a little more expensive to do that. Don't always encourage that, but if that has to happen, then we will take care of it then as well. And then as far as just making sure that you take care of the properties as a tenant, we ask that you please treat the property as if it were your own, because you're living there. We hope that you have pride of ownership. Even though you may not necessarily own the property, it's always better to live in something that's in good condition. We will have our inspector, who's qualified and professional and insured. He'll come and inspect the property every 4 months, so 3 times a year, make sure the filter is changed out, make sure the furnace is in good repair, ask if there's any damage. He'll take photos of different areas around the home. Pretty standard to take photos of the kitchen, the bathrooms, the bedrooms, the hallways, the exterior, the yard especially. We're gonna look to make sure that's in good repair. And then that'll help us know what condition the property is in at all times. And that'll go in your file and on your record, and we'll make sure that together as a team, we're going to keep the property looking as nice as we possibly can for your enjoyment, and then to protect the landlord and their investment. So that's how we work with damages of issues or incidents during the time that the tenant is there. Now, there are those cases when things just break down. For example, fridges may just go out, or an AC unit may go out, or there may be a leak in the plumbing that was not tenant caused. And in those situations, there is a little different protocol that we'll go over in a different scenario, a different video. But we're talking here about tenant caused issues, damages to doors or windows or walls, whatever the case may be, carpets, stains, that kind of thing. So what we always ask is that our tenants, they're going to leave the property in the same condition or better than what they found it when they first moved in. And that's the Keyrenter way. We appreciate having you as a tenant, and for any other questions, go to Keyrenter Provo or KeyrenterStGeorge.com. Thanks.